Um, Nothing in Hawaii, man. So, dude, we show up in Hawaii the day. So you show up that evening or that night or whatever, man. You get your room around about 15. Then the next morning, you know what I mean? You on the which I ain't get my room like 16.
Mhm.
But the next morning you go around the ship early that morning, start your
Yeah.
stuff, get on the way, all that stuff. Then you come back that night. Then the next day you go back on the ship. And then you probably hopefully you get out of there around I ain't get out of there 16, 17 on the second day, and it's only a 2-day event. So the second day I got up at 17, and then I leave early the next morning. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
So
So it ain't like I go out there and this time anyway, see Hawaii or do anything like that. I be planning when we first get there early enough I can go golfing or something, but um none of that shit happened.
was this like a practice inspection, or was y'all like in there like how TMIT be in there when the inspectors on board or whatever?
Yeah, yeah. It was a RE6, so it was a full out inspection that we do. And it's kind of like in preparation because next thing they're gonna do is in-serve. So we do pretty much the same thing in-serve do. Walk on board, do the inspection, and leave.
Y'all
You know
you
what I
got
mean?
civilians over there too
Yeah,
with y'all,
yeah.
like ex-military or vets or whatever
Ex-military, yeah.
for the most part.
And they fields of expertise. But yeah, man, it's pretty cool though to do that, man. I just wish we had more time. Like the places we go to like do something. We don't do nothing, man. So I
Oh,
guess if
for
we
like
was doing
R&R.
something, we could do something.
Trying
We
to,
could,
yeah.
as though we can like we probably could take leave off some of that stuff, which is my plan anyway. Though now is like when we go like to Hawaii sometime and we there to like Thursday or whatever, I'm gonna start just taking leave that weekend, come back Monday, bring Ella out or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say because
You know what I mean?
you
Something like that,
family
man.
got to be thought about too, right?
Yeah,
But
gotta make
like, so for anybody listening, this is by the way, episode whatever, right? We'll figure it out. But this by the way is a little different than the podcast because we kind of just talk. Non like topical, no segments, no hero. I know y'all probably like, man, y'all ain't talked about a hero in like the last couple episodes anyway. And the crazy thing is every episode we did talk about a hero, but we wound up not getting it into the podcast because one of the things is a lot of times when we read these citations, I think we like mess up, and I don't want to, like, I'm tired of like putting out like a citation reading where I like mess something up. So I rather it be a little bit more polished or whatever, just out of respect for the person. And I know we can't help it, every now and then, but mess some stuff up. Some of those words they write is just
yeah.
crazy. You know what I mean? Like intrepidity or whatever. But but we will. but we got one because I want to talk about Alwyn Cash. I really do want to talk about Alwyn Cash, and we did, and he did some great stuff. That's the dude Damon, that was like on fire, like but still saving people and stuff like
Yeah,
that. Who
man.
I think
Oof,
President Biden just gave him the awards.
oof.
So we do want to talk about that. We're not going to talk about Band of Brothers this week. Like I said, this just a
So
by
by
the
the
way.
way,
So
yeah,
yeah, so none of that stuff happened. And that's for any new listeners. If you been with us for a while, you know what we do with Oh by the Ways. But I do want to first kind of get into talking about Reddit, right? And just some of the help that Reddit has been doing for sailors. Now, are you familiar with Reddit, David?
I'm not familiar with it. I know earlier, you brought it up to me. So I'm really not familiar with it, but it sounds like they're doing great things though. But I'm not
Yeah,
familiar
I
with it.
saw you still got like a Hotmail, don't you, man?
Yeah, I didn't,
I was
man. I never got rid of Hotmail, man. But
I was hitting you up.
but the thing about it is though, man, I got like Gmail and all that stuff. It's only because of my like iPhone and stuff. Still don't use
For
it.
real?
You know what I mean?
It's
Yeah.
crazy. Like I was hitting you up at Angeline, like she was so disgusted, man. She was like, "He got a Hotmail." I was like, "Yeah, David got yeah, he got a Hotmail still, man."
See, what's the difference? Like, what's kind of been around? Yahoo been around like for a minute too.
Yahoo, Yahoo.
Ella
I
got
hope ain't
Yahoo.
nobody for real
Yeah.
for work.
She got Gmails. I think she used her
Yeah,
Gmail
she
stuff more than
probably. I'm sure Ella used her. Ella kind of technologically savvy. I'm
Yeah,
sure
yeah,
she
yeah.
used her Gmail. Because with Hotmail, do you even get notifications?
If I wanted them, I don't even want notifications. Dude, I don't even want none of that stuff, man. I be
So
looking
like,
at
So Reddit is like, it's like this form, it's like a chat forum, right? Like a massive group chat for like the world. Like anybody, if you can make a Reddit, and it's somebody else that's more Reddit savvy will probably hate my explanation of it, right? But you can make like a Reddit like group, chat group. They got like subreddits and stuff like that. But it's pretty much any topic. It's unfiltered. It's not really like sanctioned. So you could talk about like a lot of like stuff. I remember some story where somebody said they like they was like the landlord. It's not funny. They were like the landlord of a house, and they like left a like rag or something in the heater by mistake, like the house, something like that, and they like blew the house up, like with like four, like a family of four in it or whatever.
Mm.
But it's like Reddit, so like nobody could really like locate who the person is or nothing like that. They kind of go under like a alias, stuff like that, right? Like I was just telling you earlier, it was like this dude on Reddit on like this alias kind of account, and he was saying that his wife had cancer, stage 3, and she was going to start doing a wheelchair in like 5 months. And the last request that she had was for her to have to make love to one of her exes. You know?
Well, you know what, man? Like my time you like mention that, man, the first thing comes out my mind is like to me, man, and I hate to say it like this, it's a reflection on me. You know what I mean? Like the person that's and I'm saying it like this because I think the wife or the whoever in that situation maybe being selfish a little bit.
Yeah,
But at the same time, man, like we're really what type of relationship we've been in. You know what I mean? If this is what you're thinking about on your deathbed right now, you're thinking about this. So really what's been going on in our relationship the entire time? You know, it makes you sit down for a second and really, put your freaking your thinking cap on, man. I'm like, well, what's been happening?
yeah,
Because to me, automatically, man, it seemed like it's something else to that, man. I don't know, but it just seemed like something else to that. Seemed like that's what that will not be on the mind of a lady that's about to pass away soon. Just seemed like it shouldn't be. I don't know.
yeah, man. And the dude, I was looking at the Reddit and I was looking at the responses, and the dude was like hurt, and people was
Oh, I
asking him
bet.
like, "Hey, do you think she already been in touch with her ex? Like, why? How is this so like random that she just
Random,
saying, 'Can I
yeah.
make love to my ex one more time?'" Because she felt like they had a unmatched, like like a physical connection that she never had again in life. It's like, dang, yo, and this dude had been with her for 10 years, man.
Mm.
So we 10 years removed from your last dude, and you still asking, about him. But yeah, but it's conversations like that in Reddit, like just these unfiltered conversations, right? But what's been happening is a lot of sellers, like it's starting to be a good tool for suicidal ideations and sellers trying to get like their points across and sharing things that they, might not even want you to see their face when they talk about, and there's some leaders going in there and actually helping, sellers out, and I champion new ways to like help people, new ways to lead, and new ways to voice your own, opinion about stuff. And that's why we, champion podcasts and we champion YouTube pages and stuff like that. So I just wanted to, know what you thought about that. Like just going different, outside of Fleet and Family or outside of, this, that. I mean, eventually it's going to filter you probably back into Fleet and Family, but just outside the normal scope to like voice your thoughts and help people and stuff like that.
Well, man, my take on it is, man, anything that works, right?
Yeah.
Regardless of what it is, how it is. But you gotta think about it, man. Like it's hard for people to come out and talk about things like this. Always a tough conversation for anybody because you don't know what everybody going through. You don't want everybody to know your business. All this different stuff that goes through somebody's mind. But this seemed like somewhere you could be like kind of anonymous or whatever
Hmm.
about the situation, but at the same time you can get the help that you need. So whatever type of channels that may be, I think it's a great idea, a great situation for everybody. um and on top of all of that, sometimes what helps is venting, right?
Yeah.
So if you can go on some type of whatever and vent your situation out, and now you feel relieved that you didn't put it out there, you didn't say something about it, just feel better, man. You know what I mean? You feel better
Yeah.
all around. So whatever the case may be, man, however and whatever it need to do to help you or help anybody, man, do it, man. And big shouts out to Reddit, man. Like, it's a big deal. People getting help. So
Yeah.
it's a great thing.
And, yeah, man. And so as another thing happened on Reddit where seller. Oh, what I was about to say was I kind of lost my train of thought. What I was about to say was it's also good sometimes, like you were saying, like the vent, and then it's also good just to see that there's other people that's going through that with you. Like, yo, it's 65 other people that comment on my post, like, hey, I'm dealing with the same exact thing. And and then you get the unfiltered, you get the older retired people that's probably in there, you get younger people that's probably, because it's a lot of people on Reddit. But also what happened in Reddit recently was a seller from Walter Reed base. So the Walter Reed, where the medical center is, they got barracks for like the sellers.
Yeah.
And a seller went on Reddit and kind of made a confession about being tired of the conditions of the barracks and stuff like that. Actually, it's an article, right? And what Military Times, our Navy Times, and we don't give as much credence to like Navy Times, which I'm okay with. However, I work in the area, and I know that today there were efforts to like go and help these sellers out. So I know it's something, happening over there, right? We kind of got the call. I couldn't go because of what's going on at home or whatever. So I'm here with my wife, but we did get the call. So it says no hot water, AC, or doors with locks for junior troops forced to live in hellish Walter Reed base barracks, right? So it's some stuff going on over there. And it's been going on for a while. So a seller was able to get in Reddit and make a complaint. And then some sellers were able to make like anonymous complaints to Navy Times. They do got a new CO over there. I think took over like April 2021 and stuff like that. So I think the CO has been kind of getting the complaints and trying to deal with them. And also noted that the trouble call system, they recently found out that the trouble call system has some issues. So the CO, it seemed like the CO, when he found out what was going on, it seemed like he did take action, or whatever action he could take. But so first I wanted to kudos, just sellers speaking out on Reddit. But I wanted, like, my thought process here is like, why does it seem like things gotta hit like public, like Navy Times? Because like I said, it's things happening today to like mitigate, to at least mitigate, right? Maybe not fix because these some old buildings, but at least mitigate. So why are we waiting for things that hit Navy Times to do things that we can actually do before they hit Navy Times?
Well, man, I got an opinion about this, right? For one, first off, I'm gonna say that I don't know all the sides. I don't know everything about the
Right.
situation before I say. I'm just gonna talk about what I'm seeing and what I'm reading right now. And the first line on this article says this: hundreds of junior enlisted sailors and soldiers have gone for years. S is on that shit. Years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Without hot water in the barracks room, right? Are you freaking serious right now? Ain't no way in 2021, even 2021, a sailor has not complained about this to
Right.
leadership, right? That's what I see. Sailors going to complain about this for leadership, through leadership, all the time. And I don't care if it's and the small things sailors complain about. This shit here is huge.
Mm-hmm.
You bring this up to the chain of command,
Quality of life.
something is going to happen, right? Like, these kids gonna get moved out of here to somewhere else. Like you said, something needs to be in place until this stuff get fixed. And you telling me
Yeah.
that didn't happen? I'm kind of like baffled. You know what I mean? When it comes to like thinking about, did nothing happen? That's why I'm kind of like tiptoeing a little bit, because something, I feel like we missing something here. We
Yeah. It's
have to
probably
be
something
missing
missing.
something. We have to be missing something. Ain't no way you letting sailors for years stay over there like that, man. It's unsat, right? And I
Yeah.
know the leadership over there wouldn't do that either. So I'm almost feeling like I'm missing something. And if anybody that's knows more about this, please come talk to us, because I feel like we need to have a conversation, because I
Yeah.
don't think this is how this went down, man. Like something has
Yeah.
to be different. Like I
Yeah.
promise you, and I don't want to get too crazy about leadership and all that type of stuff right now. But if we letting this happen to junior sailors, we are wrong and we are the problem. We are, as leaders, we need to get stuff like this fixed ASAP. Like, this is crazy right now. So if anybody in tune, anybody know anything about this, that's on Navy Times, about the barracks and Walter Reed, please hit us up and let us know, because I know it's another side to this story. It has to be.
So, I mean, I don't want to close it out just yet, because there's a couple things that I think about, right? So one option is, like, for years that this was going on, sellers never said none, right?
Yeah.
If this is true. So I know, like I said, I know it's some validity here because I work in the region, and, like, as a chief, I was called out. It was like a kind of like a duty call for, like, us to go help. So I know it's something happening. Like, we getting sellers out of these buildings, like, right now, right?
Yeah.
So I know it's some validity here, but like, so either nobody ever made a complaint, people were making complaints to the wrong people, or people were making complaints and it was, I'm not going to say people didn't care, right? But it was taking too long for some action to happen, right? The other option could be people, that's another option, some dark, deep, dark option, right? So these kind of like options that I kind of want to toss around. Now, my only issue is this, right? And, like, nothing is confirmed. We don't know anything. We don't know how true this is. All I know is that it's some validity here because I work in the region and there's something happening today, right? But I say all that to say this. If it's something happening today after this thing been made public, my only hope is that, like, my only hope here is that we never had a moment that we could have done something before today and we just didn't do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, because if it's this easy, because I just found out about this last night, and it's like breaking news kind of, right? But I just found out about this last night doing another podcast. Somebody brought it up. If it's this easy to take action, then I'm hoping that we just kind of found out about this.
Yeah. That's
You know what I'm
what
saying?
I'm trying to be hopeful with you, but I'm here
Yeah.
to tell you, I know sailors, man. I know that this been talked about before, man. But for sailors though, also, even if you bring it up to your LPOs, LCPOs, the officers or whatever, right there, man, it's probably more avenues out there, man. Like, you got suggestion boxes, you got all type of stuff that you guys can do to make this more known. You can go straight to the top probably with it now. Used to, you had to go through channels, man, but right now, if ain't nothing happening, it got to be the next person,
Yeah.
the next person, because this is unsat right here. We talking about hot water, man. We talking about the the life, your life, man, comfortable
Doors
and
don't lock. Doors don't lock. AC's messed up.
yeah,
And so, I mean, I'm glad there's something happening. But again, this is something that Reddit was able to kind of find out, and somebody took something from Reddit. I don't know if Reddit got it before Navy Times or however that happened, but Reddit, Navy Times, and then something, started to happen. Now, all of this stuff, now, so you know how news is weird. Like, some of these actions could have been, kind of getting, like, in progress. Some of these actions could have been in progress, and then the news kind of hit it late. Like, we could have been, maybe we were always,
yeah,
headed toward going and helping them out this morning,
yeah,
right? And the news just hit it late. But if I could be transparent, I, like, just got, like, the call about it, like, last night. So
yeah. And that's
um,
why I'm not going like too crazy. I think it is it's possible it's another story, another side of
yeah,
the story too. So that's why I'm not going too crazy about it right now. But I also want the listeners to know is, think about this, man. How I'm getting very, like, you know, a little bit cray cray about the whole situation, is because think about a young sailor working 10 and 12, maybe 14 hours a day, and they come home, back to when I say home, back to their barracks room,
mm-hmm,
and they ain't got hot water, they ain't got AC, they ain't got these things after you put all that work in, you know what I mean, for that day. And trust me, Walter Reed, and with all the COVID stuff that going on, these sailors are putting in some work, you know what I mean, all day, and they
yeah,
come home and the comforts of hot water and AC. Come on,
yeah.
man, we gotta do
I
better.
know. I know Walter Reed got this other kind of like toss up when it come to, like, who owns the base versus who owns the installation versus who owns the hospital. So it's like some other stuff, that got to do with Walter Reed as well. But
Yeah,
let's just hope the best for these sellers, and, like, whatever, we get this thing fixed and taken care of.
yeah,
But speaking on Reddit, and we're gonna talk again, we're gonna kind of get more into something about Navy Towns. But speaking on Reddit, though, I just want to plug our Discord, right? So we just started up a Discord. It's pretty much, if I could compare it to anything, I would compare it to a Reddit page. So we just started like a PTSF Discord where you could talk about episodes, you could give your feedback, you could give us opinions, suggestions, or share whatever, like news stories. We get a lot of people text us. I know I get a lot of people text me with like stories like this MCPON story that we're gonna touch on in a second. But we get a lot of people kind of talk to us with like about stuff like that, just via like a text message or like a message in like Messenger. But if you can, man, hit up the Discord, man, slide it in there so everybody can see it. Full transparency, I don't know how to use Discord. I'm sure Damon probably never even heard of it. You know what I'm saying? If he said he never heard of Reddit. So I don't know how to use Discord. We figuring out, but we do want to start it because I feel like it's a good place to get people in as a group and have these public kind of conversations that we want to have with PTSF. Right. So we want PTSF to be a podcast, but we also want it to be a platform where we have public, I'm lifting the veil a little bit with like some of our plans, but eventually we wanted to have like public conversations where like, the podcast ideas come up from our conversation, vice, me or Damon just kind of just shooting things in the air that we think, y'all care about.
I like it.
So let's talk Navy Times a little bit. I'm gonna read the article, man. I'm gonna read the article, Damon, because it's some issues I got with the article. So this Navy Times, it's issues I got with Navy Times. We're gonna talk about it. Geoff Zezulowicz and Megan Eckstein. They the people that wrote it, right? But we're gonna talk this, right? So it says the Naval Inspector General has launched an investigation into allegations of misconduct by the top enlisted sailor in the Navy, according to a defense official with direct knowledge of the probe, right? So MCPON Russell Smith is the second consecutive enlisted leader of the Sea Service to come under such scrutiny. The defense official, who asked to remain anonymous as they weren't authorized to speak on the matter, did not specify the nature of the allegations, right? So that's like a leak, pretty much, or a leak of information from somebody who shouldn't even be saying it, right? In accordance with what we're reading. Smith did not respond to a phone message on Wednesday, but his spokesperson, Senior Chief Stacy McCarroll, declined to comment. I'm not allowed to talk about it right now, she told Navy Times. And then Commander Momsen, a Navy spokesperson, also declined to comment. As a matter of policy, the Navy does not comment on the status of investigations or confirm if an individual is under investigation, right? That's what Commander Momsen said in the email. It remains unclear whether IG investigation currently stands or whether it's been completed. Smith became the Sea Service's 15th MCPON in 2018 following the abrupt resignation of his predecessor, former MCPON Stephen Giordano. Giordano left the post following a series of Navy Times, again, stories detailing allegations about his hair trigger temper and accusations he behaved like a Hollywood diva. While declining to discuss specific allegations against Smith, the defense official said they were not at the level of misconduct alleged against former MCPON Giordano. I found that funny when I read it. Like, yeah, like he's under investigation, something happened, there's allegations, but they not as bad as the other guy. Right. So I did kind of find that. yeah. Like, hey, no matter what, it ain't as bad as Giordano. An IG report obtained by Navy Times in 2019 determined Giordano, and then more stuff about Giordano, and then some stuff about Master Chief, MCPON Smith. He enlisted in 88, man. Damn.
Yeah, man. I read that like, damn, 88.
He enlisted 2 years after I was born. And then he was selected for CMC program the year I joined the Navy. So my issues with Navy Times, bro, is that this article isn't really about anything.
Yeah. You just putting out info just to put out info just to get somebody reading something, I guess. You know what I mean? Yeah. People actually Googling Navy Times. That's all you did right there. For somebody to click on your shit. But you ain't really said nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I don't know, you can help me out here. And I don't know if it's hypocritical or whatever, because we do a podcast and sometimes we talk about, things. But like we just did with this, barracks thing, we try to talk about it like outside of the scope of like being accusatory because we don't know the whole story. So it's just like, what's our thoughts about like this, or if this was the case, what would you know? But like, for me, I'm looking at it like, is it like journalistic responsibility that we should take when it comes to like some of these reports where we know that our adversaries could see them? You know what I'm saying? So they could see this is the second, MCPON straight that's under some form of investigation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I've read the Chinese like, op-eds, or just op-eds from different, adversaries, not just to call out, one place, but I've read different op-eds from different people from different countries, and like what they like, where they're mentally like attacking us at, and like the eyes of like their readers, or the heads of their readers. And it's literally in like those kind of things, like the Stuart Scheller, the Captain Crozier, like leadership issues with leadership, issues with people not like agreeing to certain things, big big Navy stuff. That's like where they're attacked. Like as much as the other military units are like thinking of strategic ways, our governments are thinking of strategic ways, a lot of these articles that's like reading and influencing people are talking about like these kind of things, like
Yeah.
another Navy leader, allegations of this or allegations of that. So I mean, me personally, I don't think it's an issue when you reporting it when you have a story, but I think when you don't have a story, why do it?
Yeah. And that's my point, man. Like we can't even have a freaking opinion on this thing, man, or anything, because you ain't got nothing. You don't have anything, man. So why make a report when you don't have any? Right. So I don't even have no crap opinion on anything on this whole matter. And the reason why I don't have no opinion on it is because it's allegations, right? And allegations, I feel like anybody in a leadership position, you can bring up some allegations about a lot of the times, right? You can freaking something. You can see somebody doing like walking through the P-way with somebody if you want some allegations. You can
Yeah.
see somebody going to the store with somebody if you want some allegations. You know what I mean? And then this ain't even like allegation. This ain't really like nothing because you didn't say anything in this article. So
Yeah, it's like, yo,
yeah,
something,
so I don't have
what
no opinion, like no type of opinion about this at all, man. I just think it's Navy Times being Navy Times, where they want you to click on their stuff and read your stuff, read their stuff. You know what I
yeah.
mean? I don't know. It's
And
kind of
if you
crazy, man, but I
if
don't
you
know.
listening, you probably like, if you listening and think like, well, why are we even, mentioning we mention it because we do a podcast, and we are both in the Chiefs mess. And it's a story, and I don't want to listen and to say, hey, they completely ignored the MCPON story all the way. I mean,
Yeah,
it's not ignored, but it's just nothing here yet. You know what I mean? It's
yeah,
nothing here. It's nothing to talk about. We don't know if the investigation is going on. We don't know if it is an investigation. We don't know if it's over. We know nothing. You know what I'm saying? And if it's something to discuss, we'll talk about it, whenever we get more of the story. I just don't like the heavy handed um, headlines and stuff like that when we know our adversaries. That's my biggest thing, like for
yeah,
me. The
yeah,
heavy handed headlines when we know our adversaries are
yeah.
strategically looking for ways to psychologically
Yeah, and that's you
shift the
know what,
minds
Mike?
of
Well,
other
you say
people.
that, man. That same thing is it happens every day too, though, man. On Fox, CNN, everything. We pretty much talk about every damn thing, man, on the news,
Yeah.
man. Like letting everybody see it. So yeah, and
Yeah,
I
like
mean,
super transparent.
yeah, it's like I'm not all into like watching the news like that, like big headliners pop up or whatever about something, but I don't know if I ever see like other countries like that though. All that stuff pop up about other countries, but I don't watch it like that, so I'm not sure. So I'm not gonna go too deep into it. What they put on the news, man. But yeah, I know we do though. Everything goes up. Everything is a story, man.
Yeah. Hey, so this might be our first stretch where we had like three guests straight, right? And with our podcast, right? So we had Joseph Solomon, um, Lieutenant Joseph Solomon. We had Master Chief Flowers, Rob Flowers, and we had Master Chief Jay Montanaro, right? So Jay Montanaro, Robert Flowers, and Joseph Solomon. So hey, I just like personally want to thank those guys for coming, sharing their stories, and giving a little bit of themselves. The funniest thing, you know, I knew that like the Rob episode was gonna be special when we went to record with him the first time and he was on base in his office. Like, so if you're a listener, you know, you got the one episode, but like this thing happened like twice. Like we want to record with Rob the day before. But and when I look, man, I was like, yo, Rob standing up. You know, I'm like, yo, we do a 2 hour, 2.5 hour podcast. Rob don't, it ain't no chair around.
Yeah.
Like Rob about to stand up this whole time. Like his whole setup is set up for him to stand up. So that, you know, I knew then, like when I saw Rob was standing up, that Rob was gonna come with that energy, man.
Yeah. He came with it too.
Yeah. And
If you
I
guys
watched the
haven't seen
episode.
that episode, he brought that energy, boy. I mean,
Yeah.
that was, I love talking to that guy, man. That was a good episode, no doubt.
Yeah, I appreciate it. You know, and it's funny because I was watching the episode on YouTube and Angeline came and I was like 2 hours and 12 minutes in and she was like, is he standing up? I was like, yeah, he's standing up. She was like, was he standing up the whole time? I was like, yeah, he's ready. You know what I mean? Like, you know, and so we love, hey, Rob, man, because I know Rob listens. Hey, Rob, I love you, man. We love you, man. We appreciate you. Thank you. He actually, you know, brought a lot of people to that episode, and a lot of people need to hear that episode. Same as you know, Joe Solomon. We didn't talk about it on a podcast, but oh, by the way, I feel like we can mention it. You know, his episode, it charted on Apple Podcasts. You know, charted at like high, you know, like number 59 of all government podcasts out of 200. So, I mean, that was really appreciative for that. And I'm sure we, you know, were seen by more people again. You know what I'm saying? Master Chief Montanero's episode was a good episode, especially for, I was talking to like some of my chief friends and people that's going up for SEL. And they was like, yeah, they learned a lot, you know, about the process, what to expect, things about having chiefs in a mess that, you know, you might not necessarily agree with the way they move and stuff like that. So, man, I just wanted to like show a little bit of appreciation for our people, man.
Yeah,
They
most
came and
definitely,
they
man.
hooked us up.
Most definitely. There's some good guys, man. Some good information out there on from everybody on those 3 episodes, man. I'm talking about good information that got put out. So most definitely appreciate those guys for coming on. We're not done though. We got some more people set up, some stuff coming
Yeah.
out, man.
Yeah. We got some fun stuff coming, man.
Oh
We got
yeah,
some fun stuff
man.
coming.
Oh yeah.
There's some
It's
people I
only
would
getting
love to
better,
talk
man.
to too. Yeah,
Oh
there's
yeah.
some people
Oh
I
yeah.
would love to talk to, man. I ain't hit them up yet, but it's a couple people that I would love to get here and talk to, man. Some funny people too, like so.
Yeah,
I
man.
would love, you know, some good people, some funny people, some, you know, and I want to talk to some MCPONs too, man.
MCPON, some fleets, some forces, anybody,
Yeah,
man. We go here having some good ass conversations, man. We're not doing no people think it's speak permission to speak freely. Like we going on there, we bashing everybody. We ain't bashing nobody. We just speaking the truth. You know what I mean? We just
yeah,
talking about stuff that people that we want, like the people want to hear. You know what I mean? Like, and it's good stuff, man. Like, it could be some stuff that you can hear every day, but now guess what? Now you can hear it from the horse's mouth, man. You know what I mean? You can
yeah,
hear it from a different perspective because a lot of times we can get so, you know, narrow-minded on certain situations that we can't think outside the box. But when you hear it from a leader and on what they thinking about, now you can think differently. Oh shit, now I know why they thinking about it like that. Now I know it went this angle this way or whatever because sometimes, man, leaders, we can't think from one perspective, man. You know what I mean? You got
yeah.
to think from multiple perspectives on how things may work and how it's going to affect things. And sometimes junior sailors or the mess or the officers or whoever, they thinking about their side. You know what I mean? On how it should affect them. But it's multiple things going on from a leader standpoint when it comes to getting shit done.
Yeah, it's like the episode we had with Jay, man, CMC. And I asked him, like, I'm like, yo, you ever had, you know, and a lot of these things we don't like, again, like it's like very, very, very organic. So we not like shooting everything to like everybody all the time. Like, you know, so we shot some stuff to Rob, we shot some stuff to Jay. I think we might have shot a little bit of stuff to Joe, but like most of the stuff we talk about is like just off the cuff stuff. So when I asked Jay, like, hey, did you ever have a bad chief? You know, and he was like, you know, and I'm like, well, a defunct road program chief. And he was like, I'm dealing with one. You know,
Yeah.
I was surprised, man.
Yeah.
You know,
Real
and not
shit. Like,
everybody,
for real.
and not everybody gonna get that kind of, you know, and I don't want to feel like, you know, it's like gloating or nothing, but not everybody gonna get that conversation when they go talk to their CMC. You know what I'm saying? That
Yeah.
comes with like trust, that comes with love, that comes with like understanding that you under a platform where you talking to people that love you, and they gonna make sure this information gets kind of discussed right and heard right. But I can't see an E5 going up to a CMC right now, like, hey, Mass Chief, any of the chiefs in your mess, like on a road program, and the Mass Chief being like, yeah, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So, you know, just keep your ears open and keep listening. If you got any suggestions, let us know. Real quick, I got a question for somebody smarter than me, right? Um, and I'm not talking to Damon about this one here, right? I'm talking to a listener, but MOUs and MOAs, right? So memorandums of understanding and memorandums of agreement. So I recently had an issue, not really an issue, but you know, I do the urinalysis and the DAPA program, and we had an MOU that, you know, the command wanted to do, and one of my leaders was like, hey, is there any way to, like, you know, not have to do a MOU, you know? And I don't remember anything about MOUs in the instruction. So I told him, I was like, hey, sir, you know, let me dig into the instruction, because I hate that, you know, when I'm talking to people that I respect, I hate to give them something that's not black and white. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, well, let me dig through the 5350 and see if I could find something in here that got to do with MOUs. The 5350, that's the drug detection and deterrence program instruction, if you don't know. But
Yeah.
I'm like, let me, you know, figure something out. Nothing. Right. So I hit up OpNav, right? They did kind of like, you know, high side people. And you know, they bounced it back to, you know, CNIC, the people I kind of work under. But they pretty much was like, nah, it's nothing in black and white about MOUs and our instruction. So I talked to CNIC, and I'm getting all these specifics. I keep getting specifics like, yeah, well, you don't do an MOU if this happened. You do an MOU if this happened. And my only question is, all right, well, where are you getting this from? Like, is it like this secret MOU school that y'all, like, where is the reference that I could just look at and I don't have to ask anybody about like MOUs and MOAs? So I
Travel
brought it up at a
knowledge.
Chiefs.
That
Yeah,
travel
yeah, like,
knowledge.
where is that? Like, I want to read it. Like, I want to know, is this an MOU? Is this an MOA? I don't want to have to reach out by email to somebody that, you know, knows more than me. So I was talking to the Chiefs, and my Chiefs, they said something, and I forgot what one of my Chiefs said. One of the Chiefs, one of my brothers, or whatever, he actually gave me a good one. He actually listened to the podcast too. What up, Eric? But if you remember that, man, text me that, whatever you said that reference was. But if any other listeners know the reference for MOUs and MOAs, and we not just thinking about like this requirement, like out of thin air, like, oh yeah, you need an MOU for this, you need an MOA for this. Like, I would love to get like the reference so I could use it for my MOUs and my MOAs, because that's, you know, that's what I deal with. So that's like my call to action for anybody that could kind of help me out and point me in a direction of a reference for MOUs and MOAs. If it's not like a Navy based like instruction or whatever, it's cool. I still need to know, what are we using, you know? And if it's not Navy based, I kind of want to know why we using it for Navy, you know, stuff. I just kind of want the whole line of like understanding for MOUs and MOAs. And I guess
Yeah.
that's how cynical, you know, I am about everything. I don't know if you got anything for that.
No, I don't know anything about any of that stuff.
All right. So I know you got something for this, right? And we might actually, you know, we might debate a little bit here. We might argue here.
Oh man.
And you know, I don't hate that too much. But so first of all, you're a football fan, right?
Yeah, I'm a sports fan, but football, yeah, that's my thing.
Yeah, you love it. Sports is, you know, a big thing, right? So
Yeah.
it was a time, right? I'm gonna preface this, everybody. It was a time that I was a sports fan. Let me not say sports, because I like sports. It was a time that I was an avid sports watcher and a football fan. Honestly, I think I came in like second place fantasy my last year and first year ever playing it. And I think the last football game I watched in duration was the Eagles Super Bowl, right? So I'm from Philly, and I didn't watch the season up before that. Before I was an Eagles fan, I was a St. Louis Rams bandwagon rider, right? And I like They's the greatest show on turf. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
I used to act
yeah,
like I was a fan of them because of Eric Dickerson. Not like, you know what I'm saying? When people be like, well, why you like them? It's like, well, Eric Dickerson. You know what I'm saying? Like Eric Dickerson I've been liking them since Eric Dickerson. Like that's before
yeah,
my time, man. You know what I mean?
yeah,
That's not true. Like I jumped on the Rams when everybody else jumped on the Rams, when they had Kurt Warner and they had like everybody. They had like the greatest Marshall Faulk, the greatest show on turf, right? So I used to watch football like avidly. Every game breaker, game day, Madden, like every football game, all of that stuff, right? But I don't know. I kind of fell out of like love for it, right? Now I'm gonna tell you about my issue with sports fans, man. And I know a lot of people gonna be mad at me because I know we got a lot of sports fans, listeners. My issue with sports fans is like y'all not the team, man. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all ain't y'all not the squad, bro. Yeah, we going to Miami next week. No, you not. You know, unless you a season ticket holder, you got, you know, and you are traveling, you know, with that team. You're not at all those games. You're not going. You're not on that. You know
yeah,
that flight, man. You at your crib. You turning your TV on. You know, yeah, we hurt. You know, we lost a couple people. We just got to make some viable trades. You know what I mean? You know, so that'd be my biggest issue with the sports fans. Like, yo, you not them, yo. So that's my issue. So I know you an avid fan. You one of those we fans. Like if
yes,
somebody talk about the
yes,
Niners,
yeah,
you like, yeah, you know, we lost that one. You know what I'm saying? But you know, we be right back.
yeah.
You know, we be back next year. I'm sure you got y'all winning the Super Bowl, you know, next season, right?
Damn right.
Y'all though, not them. Not
Us,
them, but y'all,
us,
right?
we. Yeah, I'm that guy. I'm that dude. I'm that dude. But
Yeah.
you know what, man? Like this is why it sells though, man. Like
Oh yeah,
this is
yeah.
the
It's business,
brand. You know what I
definitely.
mean? The
Yeah.
brand of football and brand of sports is being an advocate for that team and you know, not just football, man. It's everything. Baseball, soccer, everything, man. Like you have to be in tune. You got that's your team, that's your squad. Man, I don't know any way to talk about it. That's my squad. Like we going
Yeah.
to the bowl. We go. Hey, look. Say it like that, like you not. But man, I don't even see it like that, man. I see it as like, man, I'm part of the squad, man.
Like
Get your boy up.
you
Like I'm
actually
gonna
a
tell him.
part of
Like
the
I can
blood.
call. I feel like I can call him on the phone. You know what I mean? Hey,
Tell them make
what
some
y'all
viable
doing this week,
trades.
man?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you're right though. But I don't take it to a level that I feel like I'm hurt by somebody else talking about this though. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
It's fans out there. You got people out there killing each other, man. You got people out there
Yeah.
fist fighting about a game. I'm not taking it that far.
I
What I'm
used to
gonna
live in
do is I'm gonna
Jacksonville,
talk.
bro.
Look, I'm gonna talk to you about this game. I'm gonna try to dissect it the best way I can to try to prove my point, what I'm trying to make to you, and that's
Yeah.
it for me. Man, you
Yeah.
think I'm out there trying to struggle with somebody out there trying to freaking wrestle and fight and shoot and all this little football game that I have nothing to do with, like
Yeah.
nothing to do with, right?
Yeah. I
But I
used to
see
live
it
in
happening, man.
Jacksonville.
It's not that serious for me, but I know it
Yeah.
is for some people. I see it. You know what I mean? I see it. I see people get like brutally like pissed, like
Yeah.
upset. You talk about their team, they like get like mad. I'm like, get out of here, man. That shit ain't that serious, man.
Yeah,
You know what
man.
I mean? Like it ain't that serious.
When I lived in Jacksonville, man, and you know, the Gators, like they played at like St. Augustine or whatever. But the Gators, man, it was a certain team they play, man. I don't want to make it like lie. I think it was Ohio, but I forgot. Like, but it was a certain team they play that it was always violent. Like it was a rival game.
Probably Florida State.
Things happened. Like people got beat up, jumped, hurt,
Yeah.
like really bad over these teams, man. You know,
Yeah.
and that whole team might just drive right past you on a team bus
Oh yeah.
and not
Probably looking
acknowledge
at
you
you
at
like
all
you an idiot, probably
after
thinking you
you
an
got
idiot.
your ass whooped.
Yeah.
You
Look
know
at
what I'm
this
saying?
idiot. Look at this idiot right here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They out. Yeah,
Yeah, but
man.
I do want to give them props for. I do want to give like that, like the NFL, you know, and a bunch of those sports organizations and stuff like props for like doing that, like making like building that brand of trust between like them and their fans to where the fans is like, look at like a Washington fan, man. They had to go from, finding out that the name that they, and we understand like the reason why it was changed, right? But the name that they built up into their like culture of a fan, changed. So that was probably like, people don't like change, Again, we understand why it was changed, and it was changed justifiably and everything. But people don't like it, so they, you got to go through that, right? And I don't mean go through it like it might be tough, but now you got to start like not acknowledging your team as that name. So that takes like 6 months to stop calling your team whatever you were calling, right? So then you start calling them the Washington football team, right? And which I thought was cool. I thought that wasn't a bad name.
It actually started to fit, right?
Yeah, it grows on you. The logo's cool or whatever. Then, last week or something, I saw a bunch of Teslas rolling out that said the Washington Commanders, right? They the Commanders, right?
Man. Commanders, player.
So now they finally got a name. They the Commanders, and
Commanders.
And they got loyal fans, man.
To grow on me though, but
it's gonna take a while. That's like a military. It's like a military,
military
like, term to me.
So somebody put on Facebook, I don't know if you saw it, man. Somebody said it's gonna be a big deal between the officers and the Chiefs because when the Kansas City Chiefs play the Washington Commanders, man, it might be something right there, man.
That's funny. So what was Chiefs? So Chiefs wasn't like a Native American reference. See, and that's what I want to talk about next. So people get mum about the bullshit that the NFL be doing, man.
Yeah.
So Brian Flores, I don't know about it. So I mean, I might need you to fill me in about this. Somebody asked me, was I going to talk about Brian Flores? I didn't read the story because I'm not surprised about anything that happens with the NFL. I don't think everything is race related. Some stuff I do think is, but I don't think everything is. But Brian Flores, just in time enough for Black History Month. I guess he got on and said like it wasn't enough like Black coaches or something.
Yeah, I guess that he said something about the racial discrimination on Black coaches. That was part of it. And the other part of it he was talking about was the fact of owners are paying coaches not to win to help their position in the draft.
Yeah, I believe that.
Now that was now that was the biggest thing for me right there.
The Black coach thing wasn't?
The Black coach thing been going on. Well, I say it's the biggest thing. The Black coach thing, that dude, this been like this forever. You know what I mean?
So it's just like
this is not just
like I'm
new.
Cool with it.
Huh?
So it's just like cool. I understand. Like,
yes, I mean I do. If you don't, you something wrong. You have to understand this has been going on with the Black coaches thing every year. We are bringing this same thing up about the Black coaches every year.
So before you even get to this whole other part, right? I want like the Black coach thing, right? Do you think it's not enough like Black people that like attempt to coach that could actually be head coaches of NFL football teams?
Well, this is my take on the Black coach thing, man. Right. First off, it's not enough Black coaches, head coaches in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
It's not enough Black GMs in the NFL. Right now, and I'm saying this from a point where 70% of the NFL is African American, right, or minority, right? So you telling me these guys who played this all their life and doing this all their life don't qualify to coach? I'm taken back by that a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my other take is like, what qualifies you, right? You have people out there that never even laced up, right? Now that's not saying that they don't know the game or anything like that.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that what qualifies you to be a head coach in an NFL, and they get interviewed, right? They got the thing called the Rooney rule where they get interviewed.
Yeah.
So my take is if they're not getting these jobs for a reason, I would like to know the reason, and I like to
Mm-hmm.
know what we doing to make them better at interviewing or better at whatever, right? Because at the end of the day, diversity is the key, man. Different ideas, different ways of doing things make the team better. So what
Now,
are we
question.
doing to make it better, making it on an even playing field?
Yeah.
Because
Now, was he
obviously it's not an even playing field because you have right now, I
Damon?
think it's one African
Damon.
American coach.
Oh yeah, that's what I was about to. So you said one African American
I think it's
coach.
I think it's one,
Now,
right?
was he talking about? I read that too. It was one, but was he just talking about head coaches or like every coach,
Head
like
coaches. You
conditioning?
got a lot of
Okay,
assistants and stuff. Head coaches. They
all
talking
right.
about head
So he was
coaches.
just
Yeah.
talking about head coaches. Okay.
Yeah. And now the other side is it. And now when I say this, talk about the African American coach, if they don't qualify, they don't qualify. I understand that. Got it. Boom. I want to hire the best person for the job, right?
Mm,
But when you got all these coaches there, we are saying they're not qualified. And like I said, I don't see all sides of it. And I don't, like, you know what I'm saying? This is my opinion, is that what are we doing to make them more qualified if
yeah.
they're
Yeah.
not
Right.
qualified, right? What are we doing? Um, like, are they bad interviewers? You know what I mean? Or they don't have a game plan ready? Because I know as a head coach, they're gonna ask you questions about who you gonna have for your assistants. Who you gonna have for these? What you gonna do? I know all that stuff getting asked. So if they don't know that stuff, again, what are we doing to make them better prepared? Got it. Um,
Hey, but before
yeah,
we go any further, right? I got another thought on that, right? So
yeah,
it's something that I think about. Um, Not scientific, right? But just the theory of relativity, right? So that's my own Damo's theory of relativity, right? I believe that people tend to draw to be more drawn toward people that they look like and can relate to, right? And I'm not saying that's every case, you know? Like I'm not saying that I've never been in a place where um I didn't look like somebody and they still hook me up. Like I'm not saying like that's never happened. Like I've been in a lot of places where like I've been considered over people that look like the people that was making the considerations or could be more relatable to the people that was making the considerations. But I don't think that's not an exception to the rule. Like I think some people just, are the exception to some of that like theory that I have. But for the most part, I think people draw more toward like people that they look like and can relate to. And I think that's like all of us.
yeah,
Um, and I don't think that that's such a bad thing. But I think when you got something like the NFL, the NBA, the movie industry, and stuff like that, I think personally, and man, if people disagree with me, they can, but I think personally, we got to be more cognizant when we do start making those decisions. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like, and the Navy does well with it. Like, the Navy does really well. I mean, I'm not going to say really well, but I've been seeing the Navy doing good with it on a smaller scale. Like, hey, the vice president of the mess is black and the president like and stuff like that. Hey, we gotta like try to make sure we spreading the wealth and we not just and I've seen that happen where we move some stuff around. I remember we was putting together a committee and me and you, and we was like, oh man, we
mhm,
can't just have like the black sellers in this committee, especially because it's me and you or whatever. So it's like we gotta, kind of make sure that like we talk to everybody and we get everybody, input in all of this. I think you got to be cognizant of it, at times because you're going to naturally relate to somebody
yeah.
that came up like you. So I don't know what your thoughts is on that or
Yeah, I mean,
whatever.
my thought is that, man, like diversity, man. Like, you can't go to I know it's people who look like you, maybe act like you and all that stuff you can communicate better with or whatever. But sometimes that could be the problem.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Sometimes what you see all the time does not make you better, right? Sometimes somebody else come in there and go against the grain a little bit can make you better. Someone
Yeah.
has have a different opinion or a different way of looking at something can make you better,
Yeah.
right? So all the time when you got somebody coming in and maybe you're yes person and you think everything is going great, but it's not, right? You need those people in there to what I say, check you sometimes. You know what
Yeah,
I
and I
mean?
mean,
Like you
yeah,
need
and it's
that checks
crazy.
and balances, right?
Yeah, and it's crazy how fruitful that relationship could be when you do forge it with somebody that don't look, act, talk, and like super relatable. Like just like you, like it's crazy how fruitful it is when y'all mix up and y'all get together and it's like, damn, like we like kind of like meshing with each other. It's happened to me a lot where like,
Yeah,
you know, I'm put with somebody that I like, you know, we get together in a group and I go automatically to the person that like look like they from, like if they say they from Philly or something like that, and they, you know, I'm like right over there, oh, you from Philly, boom, boom, and we start talking, and then like, you know, they break us off in groups, and then they throw me with somebody that I would have never probably even went to talk to, not because like, you know, I hate the person or nothing, but I just would have never wanted to talk to him. And then me and that person, we get like a great bond and we have a great like team, and we realize then like how much we, you know, relate. Like, yo, I like to win, I like to win too, let's go, let's win together. So I think that's always, you know, good stuff. But I
yeah,
do want to, I know you want to get to this other part, man, about the whole what owners paying coaches to lose thing.
yeah. Well, I mean, man, I got a big problem, dude. This is the problem I got with. The problem ain't you paying the coaches to lose as much as the fact of people get fired because of it. That's what I got a problem with, man. And it's my opinion. It's not me knowing the whole story. But the Brian Flores thing, man, was like he um last couple years, last 2 years at least, he's a winning coach,
Mm-hmm.
right? A winning coach took a program from nothing, the bottom, right? Normally you get a new head coach at the bottom anyway, most of the time. So
What
they was
team
at
is
the
this? Because I'm not following. Like I
Miami
said, I don't really be
Dolphins.
following. Okay,
Miami
all right.
Dolphins.
Okay, all
Yeah, they from
right.
the bottom, right? They
Yeah.
started out this year bad, 0-7, 0-8 or whatever. They turned it around and won what 7, 8 games straight or whatever. Almost made it to
Mm-hmm.
the playoffs. Last 2 years, they 19 and 14, right? As a team. Um, but the guy been winning ever since he been there, damn near, right? Every year they damn near got better or whatever the case may be. Um, but you are telling this coach that they want him to lose games. And then after this year, which he had a winning record, now you're going to tell him, we finna fire you. Now
Yeah,
think
that's
about
crazy.
that for a second. You telling him to lose, he don't lose, and then you fire him, right? That just don't look right. You you bring in coaches to win, man. You don't bring
Mm-hmm.
coaches in to pay them to lose, right? But now I have saw already 2 or 3 people that came out and agreeing on other teams that this is the case,
Yeah.
right? So now you got these owners and stuff. Of course, they coming back and they saying this ain't true and they saying all this. But I'll do the same thing if I was the owner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the reality is, man, it's shocking that you are a fan of these teams and they telling you to go out and lose, jockeying for a position in the draft. And if I was a head coach, I'd be like, why are you hiring me, man? I ain't come to work every day to put a game plan, a losing game plan together. You're telling me to come to work and put a losing game plan together. That's
Yeah.
crazy. As a competitor, that is crazy. Like
Yeah.
these
So I
guys
mean,
been doing like a lot of these coaches, a lot of these players, a lot of these people probably been winning a lot, and that's why they where they at right now because they probably was winners. You know what I mean? That's why you're a
yeah.
head coach because you won somewhere. You playing in the NFL because you won somewhere. You're
But
great somewhere,
yeah.
and now you
But
telling them to
I got
lose.
conspiracy theories though. I got conspiracy theories though
Yeah,
about the NFL. And I'll give you a couple. The Rams was the greatest show on turf. We talked about it earlier, right? They
yeah,
won the Super Bowl, right? And then they went back to the Super Bowl the next year. If I'm correct, they went back to the Super Bowl the year after 9/11, right? And some of this stuff might be sensitive to people. But they went back to the Super Bowl the year after 9/11. Like I said, I remember because I was a Rams fan. That year they played the Patriots. That's who beat them in the Super Bowl, the Patriots, Tom Brady and them, right? Um, this me being I know somebody probably listening, laughing their ass off like this dude's crazy as hell. So, but this me being an NFL conspiracy, theorist. Like the Patriots won the year of 9/11. right? I thought that was weird. I was like, of course, the team called the Patriots is going to win the same year that 9/11 happened, right? Let's go. Yeah. Please go. Yeah, look it up. Make like look it up. You correct me if I'm wrong, but I know I'm right.
Yeah,
Um,
what?
the year before, the next thing that happened to me that like made another conspiracy theory of mine was when New Orleans won. New Orleans won the same year as
That's the one
Katrina.
I thought you was gonna bring up first, but yeah, go ahead, man.
Yeah, New Orleans won the same year as Katrina, and I was like, what the hell, you know? So here's my thing, right? It gotta be some kind of like like the WWE kind of deal where it's like some of this has to be for the sake of entertainment, right? You got to sell tickets. You got to create a story. Now I don't know if the story was as much for Kansas City to lose this year or whatever, but I mean I think the Bengals kind of got like that underdog story or whatever. But you have to create a story, and you got to get people to watch, and you got to get people in them seats. Like some of this stuff got to be kind of like drawn up, right? Owners got to be getting together, kind of because I mean my assumption is the owners is probably having powwows too. Now I
Oh
don't
yeah, I'm
know.
sure they do. Yeah, and the powwow was like they the one pay freaking the commissioner and stuff, man. He's like the one, the man in the middle type guy between the owners.
Now,
Um,
do you think it's pure? Do you think that
I
is
do. The thing, yes,
okay?
everything has a storyline to it, right? And you got people out there specializes in storylines. You know what I'm saying? How to start them and how to kick them off.
Yeah, like
But
media people. You talk about like media
the
people
media,
that like
yeah, yeah,
grab
yeah,
like
grab
media
stuff
people
and
that
make
like
it,
so
yeah,
so this what you're saying, right? So I'm pretty much saying that the story is pre-produced, right? But I think what you're saying is you got media people that like see something and be like, this is a story, let's stay on this and work
yeah.
this as is okay. All right, I'm listening.
Yeah. And the thing with the New Orleans Super Bowl, man, I really believe in that Super Bowl because I do believe in a community and a team gelling, you know what I mean, feeling like, hey, we got nothing to lose. Look what these people going through when they come together and they freaking make things happen, right? And I take that story to pre-com in a ship, man, like being in the mess of a pre-com ship, everybody
Mm-hmm.
coming together, man. We don't have anything, but everybody got to lean on each other because some people in that mess could be the first time being a chief. You know what I mean? They got to lean on people to help them out. And as that team is built together and coming together, man, you feel like at the end of that of building everybody there, now you got to come out. Now you got to go through all these paths um, to sell around to get to your destination. And you can
Mm-hmm.
see how shit start coming together. People start coming together, and it's built and it's stronger. And that goes back to the New Orleans theme. I tell you what, if it was a conspiracy thing, it got me, man. I ain't
Yeah.
gonna lie,
So
man.
so
I was kind of like sold
yeah.
on the fact that that team came together, and regardless of they wasn't a better team. It was a lot of team that was like that year that was a little bit better. I forgot they record that year, but it just felt like when they got in the playoffs, the will to win and the community and the whole state behind them and the surrounding states and everybody, man, just seemed like they all came together for them during that time. And I remember because a lot of my family from Mississippi, we don't have a team, so a lot of those are either Saints fans or Atlanta fans or whatever. So a lot of Saints fans in my family,
Yeah.
so um, they really talked about that a lot on how that came together.
So you think that was just poetic justice then?
Yeah,
Pretty much
I
just
really do.
yeah. I got my boy. He a Saints. He a New Orleans fan. He also my same homie who told me about taking the U.S. map cert to the job. Right, that's the same my same boy. But I called him like I think mid playoffs. Like yo, I was like yo, who you got, man? And he was like, he just sounded so down, man. He was like, man, whoever the NFL decide to like pick, man, that's who gonna go to the Super Bowl, man. And he's a big, he's a big.
Oh
He from
man.
Louisiana. He's a big. Well, he from New Orleans actually. He's a big NFL guy, man. But it's like he just gave up, man. Whoever they got, man. Hey, what up,
Man.
P? Love you, baby.
But you, hey, you know what's crazy? I can feel how you, I can see how you feel, man, because um he said that this year, right? This
Yeah,
year he
yeah,
said
yeah,
that.
yeah. He said it
Okay,
this year.
so what you know about, man, like if 49ers would have lost the last regular season game, New Orleans got in the playoff,
Mm,
and 49ers wouldn't have got in,
yeah,
right? So the Rams was up like 17-0 in that game on the 49ers.
yeah.
49ers came back and won that game and got in the playoff.
It's crazy.
So I can see him thinking, like, a team like the Rams let it 49ers come back at the end of that game and kick them out the playoffs and all this stuff. I can see
Yeah, the
I can
Rams
see
like
him
a
feeling a
super
certain type of
team.
way about that, man.
All right, so Brady, right?
Yeah,
He's not going to the Super Bowl this year, right? So
yeah,
Super Bowl's next week, right? I'm not going to talk much about the Super Bowl at all. I'm watching it though. The halftime show, right? It's Dr.
yeah.
Dre, Eminem, Mary J, and Kendrick Lamar. I'm
Snoop.
watching it, man. I'm ready for it, man. The first time it was a full hip hop halftime show ever.
Yeah,
And I'm sure that got to do with something to do with the fact that Jay-Z is his name is somewhere tied into the entertainment aspect of the halftime shows and stuff, right?
yeah,
Him and Roger Goodell or whatever did a deal a couple years ago. And that's what got us to see J Lo and Shakira the year we saw them too. But halftime show, I will be watching the Super Bowl. But Tom Brady is not in the Super Bowl this year, which some people are happy about. Me personally, I'm both ways, whatever, right? Three rings ago for Tom Brady, it was I would love to see him do it again just to continue to be great. And even if he didn't do it, he's still the GOAT type thing. That was like 3 rings ago to me. Like
yeah.
so ring number 8, it's like, all right, Brady, you know. But so he's not going to Super Bowl again. We're gonna talk a second about Brady. But my question is this. Do you think AB would have made a difference?
Most definitely. AB will
Yeah.
make
You
a
think he
difference,
might be
man.
in that game if AB was there?
AB make a difference anytime he on the field.
Yeah.
From a player on the field standpoint, AB makes a difference. Right?
Right.
Because you gotta do something about him. It's almost like even though Odell Beckham Jr. wasn't having a good season with Cleveland, but he comes over to the Rams and automatically you gotta do things a little bit different. Your
Mm-hmm.
defense gotta be a little bit different. You can't you he has to be accounted for on the field. And AB was one of those guys that you're not gonna check one on one. So you got to do something about it. You got to shade coverages over to him or whatever the case may be. So yes, AB would have made a difference in that game because you got Mike Evans over there, doing his thing. You got a tight end doing his thing. Now you got 3 weapons and a running back in it that's pretty good in the backfield. You got 3 weapons now. Who you gonna hold? Who you gonna play? And Mike Evans was cutting up by himself.
Mm-hmm.
So if you throw in AB with that too, man, it's a big deal. But with that being said, AB is a problem. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like I'm gonna tell you that straight up, man. I have nothing against the AB the player, but I do know football is a team game,
Mm-hmm.
and I think the way he left that field. Now, look, I'm gonna tell you this right now. This is the second time I ever seen this happen in my lifetime, where a coach in the middle of the game tell a player to leave the field.
Mm-hmm.
They was both handled differently, right? I don't know if you remember what the game for the 49ers, Coach Singletary told Vernon Davis to leave, go hit the showers.
Mm-hmm.
During the middle of the game, Vernon Davis left the field, hit the showers, right? That was it. On the storyline was behind that. Singletary got done and says, if a player this, I can't play with him, I can't do this. He had his old rant about the whole thing that
Yeah.
happened. But you didn't hear nothing about Vernon Davis. Vernon Davis was pretty much like, yeah, I was wrong, or whatever the case may what it was. You probably respected Singletary even more, you know what I mean, after that had happened. Right? AB leaving the field, right? Whatever circumstance, I don't even know. He said he was hurt.
Yeah,
They
I
say
saw
it
the
was
text
about
message. I
money.
saw the text
Yeah, he
message.
said he was hurt. They say it was about the money. He trying to get incentives. They ain't throwing me the ball. All this stuff. I got it. Don't know. I don't know. But what I do know is how you left that field. Right? throwing your pass throwing stuff in the stands, running through the end zone. That let me know you let the world know that was all about you, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you trying to win, if you want to play football again, which he might, not saying he won't, but if you want to play football again, now you want an owner to buy in on. So you know how these owners talk. We already said that, right? These owners talk. Now you want an owner or a GM to buy in again now on a player that left like that. And this ain't his only look. He left Pittsburgh in controversy. He went to the Raiders, then would play a down on some controversial shit. Now he went to Tampa on some controversial shit. And then the only guy in the media that I ever heard that was taken up for AB
Brady
was Tom Brady.
Yeah.
And now you done went for Tom Brady throat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't know, man, but he probably gonna get I'm sure some players gonna get hurt or whatever, and he probably gonna get another opportunity to play. But
yeah, well, I'm hearing, like I said, I haven't been watching football, right? So I probably sound really, really crazy to people that have been watching it. But I'm hearing AB is like nice. Like it's like gonna be hard to say no to like bringing him on to another football team. Like he's that good.
Yeah.
So like people might want to deal with the
he's
trouble.
He's that good. He's a different maker. I mean, but what team can he go on to that got good? It don't look. I can't see a better leader on the team than Tom Brady. The dude that won, like even if Tom Brady wasn't a vocal, we know he's vocal, but even if he wasn't vocal, he lead by example. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I can't see a player in the league right now is probably more of a leader than Tom Brady. And Tom Brady couldn't really contain this guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. Like, what kind of leaders? I know you can have a strong head coach. You can't have a head coach no stronger than freaking the head coach of Tampa Bay. Strong coach. So I don't know, man. I don't know.
Hey, so Tom Brady, salute. We be saluting our heroes, our military heroes and stuff like that. But our life, you know, as you know, some sports fans and stuff like that, we grow up with like life heroes, you know, like heroes, men. I know for me, I had some sports heroes, and like Kobe was one. We talked about Kobe last week. It didn't make the episode. But we talked about Kobe, of course, because it was the anniversary of his passing, him and Gigi and everybody else who passed away on a helicopter. But Tom Brady, his retirement was announced. Hey, what, 7 rings, 15 Pro Bowls or whatever, some crazy stuff like that, man. Like, hey, Tom Brady, man, is the GOAT. He's the GOAT. And I used to be a Manning guy. It didn't take long. I used to be a Manning guy. I used to look at Breeze, watch Breeze. I'm a fan of Aaron Rodgers. There's a lot of, players. You got your Steve Youngs, your Joe Montanas, Dan Marinos, John Elway. It's a lot of greats, man. But Brady is the GOAT. He's the GOAT, man. He's the GOAT. I got a question for you before we go too deep with this. Is he better than Jerry Rice?
I mean,
I know it's two different positions, but a lot of people call Jerry Rice the GOAT.
That's where people judge the GOAT on the quarterback position, right? To me personally, Jerry Rice to me could be the GOAT, right? But I'm biased. I ain't gonna lie and say I'm not biased. I'm a 49er fan, so I'm a little bit biased about it.
Yeah.
But,
and I don't want to take. I wish I didn't ask you that because I don't want to take the moment away from from Tom Brady.
Yeah. But let me tell you about Brady though. I'm gonna tell you about Brady though, man. Like, what makes Brady arguably the GOAT, man, is not only those 7 rings, because people can arguably say Joe Montana is the GOAT, the quarterback.
Yeah.
Joe Montana went to 4 Super Bowls and won all 4. You know what I mean? Brady went to way more Super Bowls than, so he got some L's on his record.
He went to 9, right? He went to 10? Or 9?
If not more, I don't know how many. It was a lot.
He lost twice to the Giants and he lost to the Eagles.
Yeah. So he lost multiple Super Bowls. So people can say, oh, he, that portion of it. But this what makes Brady the GOAT, though. Brady then retired, right? Brady holds not only how many Super Bowl rings, he also owned damn near every quarterback record. You know what I mean? That really what I think makes him the GOAT, man. Look at it. He like receiving yards, all the playoff records he owned.
Does he
Mostly because
own?
he been there
Damn,
more
man.
time than
See,
everybody.
I hate that had to debate Brady right now because we honor him. But does he own those records? Do we give any credence to how long he played to why he would
Oh
own
yeah,
those
he played a
records?
long
Like,
time. He played a long. But look, who can play at that level that he played for that long?
that's a good point.
You gotta give him
Yeah,
credit for that
yeah, and
too.
that furthers the GOAT conversation. Yeah, that's a good
Yeah,
point. Yeah, that's a
exactly.
good
Like
point.
his body and stuff, man. Normally people start hitting 35, 36 as a quarterback, and they're not the same player. Look at Big Ben. Big Ben game changed, man. He is
Yeah.
not the same player. And
Yeah.
this dude, I don't know exactly how old Big Ben is, but Tom Brady is 45 years old.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And Tom Brady was pretty much saying he could play like next year if he wanted to. He said
He
he's
probably
still
can.
playing at a high level.
Yeah, he probably
You know what I
can.
mean?
Tom
But
Brady probably can.
not Ben ain't playing at a high level, dude. Ben Arnold was shot.
That's time for him to go. The NFL is outgrowing Ben Roethlisberger. And again, I don't know none of this, but I just heard about it.
Yeah. Shot. Done.
He's 39.
Yeah.
So
Big Ben 39 and Tom Brady 5 years older.
Yeah,
than him.
44.
Yeah. And his arm is still alive, and Big Ben throwing the ball 10, 15 yards to play. No further.
And I mean, and we not a again, it's not a sports, podcast, but we in the military, we talk about sports all the time. We watch sports all the time. Super Bowls, some of us miss Super Bowls, and Tom Brady been in the NFL longer than I've been in the Navy. You know what I'm saying?
So I've been in a little bit longer. A
little bit longer. So I mean, but it's like damn near your whole career. So we really grew up like in the Navy and in our life, really watching Tom Brady. And like I said, I haven't been watching football, but the last time I did, I watched my team beat Tom Brady. But we grew up watching Tom Brady on our screens, man. So and I'm actually a little emotional here. But hey, shout out to the GOAT, man. Congrats on a great career. Look forward to seeing whatever you do on your future career. It's always hard now, like with the Kobe thing, just thinking about like a GOAT athlete transitioning or whatever, because it's like with Kobe, I hate to make it like sad or like, dark, but like with Kobe, we didn't get to see that second, life after being
a little bit
GOAT
glimpse
player.
of it. And it was going to be great. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We got a glimpse of it, and it already looked like it was going to be great, man. So.
Yeah. And then I know Brady doing a podcast, and Brady one of those like passionate like guys anyway, that I think he could lead people, like you always say, like through a brick wall, like even after football. So whatever he does next, I think is going to be great. I think his wife like pretty much, called him home, man.
Man. That's what it sounds like anyway, right?
Yeah, it's time to go, man.
Hey, you know what, man? Speaking of Tom Brady, what he gonna do in the future, man? He better take some pointers from the Manning. The Manning's taking over TV.
Yeah.
The Manning's taking over TV.
Yeah. And they always kind of had that like, thing about him, right? From like their dad to like both brothers, like, they always kind of had that thing about them. But yeah, man. Hey, big salute, Tom Brady, one of the GOATs, one of our inspirations. And like, you can't be somebody that like goes for greatness or tries to do good or tries to succeed without being inspired. You know what I mean? And like a lot of these people inspire us like every day on a day-to-day, man. But question for you, man, since we on football, there's been a little mini sports podcast today, man.
I know,
PTSF
right?
Sports, man.
I love it.
Yeah, man, I had, I mean, I know you like sports, man, so I had to kind of, go that route with you. But since the Niners are out, who do you have winning this Super Bowl?
Well, first I'm gonna tell you, I don't care. I'm gonna say it up front. I don't really care who wins it, but because my team is out. But since I'm a sports guy, I have to give an opinion, right? So I really do think, man, looking at the whole team and looking at both teams and what they done in the playoffs, I think Rams have the edge.
Okay.
Right. I say that because of their pass rush and the game against Tennessee, where Tennessee had a good pass rush. They sacked Joe Burrow 9 times. And I feel like Rams got a better pass rush, than Tennessee had. Yeah. So I can see them getting to Burrow and causing some issues. Plus they got Ramsey, which he's gonna shut down somebody. You know what I mean? Somebody finna get shut down on a team is probably gonna be the rookie Chase. They're gonna go head to head, go at each other the whole game. So I think I get an edge to Ramsey from experience and stuff. But Chase ain't no punk though. So it's gonna be a good game, but I get an edge to the Rams to win the Super Bowl, man, and their home stadium. So far.
Mm. Yeah. Hey, we well past our 30. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's gonna be dope. LA, the LA music artists. Hey, man, like NFL again, man. If the Rams win, my conspiracy theory stands, man. Like I'm just gonna say that. You know what I'm saying? But
Last year
hey,
with
so we
Tampa,
well.
right? Tampa played at home and won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Hey,
Yeah.
it's cheaper. But we well past our 33-minute goal that I thought we would have had today. But it's all good, man. This like probably one of the best times I had and in a while, just talking, shooting it, man. We
Yeah,
learned a
sure.
lot from guests and stuff like that, but I'm like actually having fun, having some good talk. So my last thing that I want to ask you about is not really ask you about, hey, is Black History Month.
Yeah.
Right, it's Black History Month. Real quick, I'm gonna highlight like my issue that I you used to always have with it. But like my thought process now is I'll take it. But my issue is I never really cared for the Black History Month because I never cared like to like I never was a big fan of none of that stuff like Black History Month, BT, like none of that stuff, right? After a while, I realized that sometimes you like 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 we wasn't learning about Black History Month like
Yeah.
January, March, April, May, June, July. Like we was only learning about it in February in school. You know what I mean? Like we wasn't like not learning about Black history no other month. So it's like, all right, well if you're gonna give it to me in February, thank you. You know what I mean? And then we were learning about Black history in our house and stuff like that. So, but if February is the time for everybody to learn about Black History Month, then okay, But I used to rebel against that. Like, it shouldn't be a month of Black history. We should be talking about this every day. This is our history. This is American history. It's not Black history. Why are we sectioning it off and all that? And I still do believe in all of that stuff. But it's like if we're gonna like kind of like sanction this month to like do more about it, okay, let's do some more. Let's talk more. Again, I think we should always do it. I think it should be embedded in the history of our country. But if that's not the case, even though it is because it's history, but if we're not going to talk about it or add it to curriculums throughout the year, then let's do it in February.
Yeah.
I don't know what you think about that. I don't even know
No,
if you
I
really
agree.
want to touch
I agree
that.
totally, man. I don't. My experience from Black History Month and doing stuff in the Navy, man. Like I used to feel a certain type of way back in the day about it when we was doing it on ships and we doing all this stuff because every time we do it, it seemed like um they look for the African American to kind of lead it. You know what I mean? Because it's
Yeah.
Black History Month. So I used to kind of feel a certain type of way about that. But then after a while, man, we started doing a lot of different, stuff, not just, you know, the Black history side. And we started looking at it at a different way when I looked at it as it's history and
Mm-hmm.
people are learning from your culture and how you came up and how your people came up, and then you got all different walks of life and we doing the same thing. And I remember like telling somebody one day that like, and I know um people probably said this a million times, but it should be the same.
Yeah.
We
History.
have to put the same energy into every month that
Mm-hmm.
we are doing like this. You know what I mean? I remember, man, when we first started this, man, Black History, man, I'm talking about the food on the table. I'm talking about going in, going hard. Then you'll have another month, man. It's like they barely could get something together. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
my whole thing was we
Multicultural.
have to show the same energy to all of this. If we don't, then you're gonna start that goes back to dividing everything. You know what I mean? Now we start dividing. Well, why they do it like this for this month, then they don't do it like this for that month. So, but then now, I don't know if you notice it now though. Um, when these months comes out of different cultures and things like that, leadership is big on it now. They want to make sure you coming up there, you are what do we do? We briefing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
this
I'm
is
on a
getting
committee. I'm
briefed
on a
now
committee.
to like
I'm on
what
a
we
committee.
gonna do. Like, what we gonna do? And now, I think they putting out you getting a better product, and and then people who wants these jobs like that, uh, want to make a difference. I mean, I believe in whoever diversity committee. Those are people who volunteer for that job because they want to make a difference. They want to, showcase the culture of different backgrounds, and then that's how we learn from different backgrounds to make to the people that will come together from different walks of life and lead a warship or lead a command or lead this. It ain't, and when people look back, man, in like the future or whatever, and say, how can you put all these different walks of life in the same place, and they come out, you know with different ideas and different this and different that, but they come out with the same message.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the biggest thing for me. They're coming out with the same message, meaning it goes back to Martin Luther King dream speech and all that stuff. We can come together. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? We could walk the same path. All this type of stuff, man, that makes me think back when I think about Black History Month, man. It's like, um, yes, it's about the African American, but at the same time, it's about um, everybody coming together and equality and all this stuff, man. At the end of the day, that's what it's all about.
Yeah. Well, I mean, since I've been in the Navy, I haven't hated like what we've done for like to highlight like Black History Month, right? I haven't really. I always felt like we did some good stuff. My question for you got to do with like because you got kids who go to school,
Hmm.
right? And I don't know how school is now, but I know that when I was going to school around February, I think we would probably start at slavery, work our way through the civil rights movement, and then talk some Shirley Chisholm, some Dr. King, Rosa Parks story, of course, some Malcolm X, some Thurgood Marshall, George Washington Carver, Benjamin Banneker, Crispus Attucks. But outside of the main characters or whatever, I want to say after that February was over, and then that was it till next February where we go Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Crispus Attucks, Shirley Chisholm, Thurgood Marshall, like George Washington Carver, Benjamin Banneker, Betsy Ross, like that whole thing. Now I'm tripping talk about Betsy Ross, but like that whole story, right? So my question is, with you got kids in school now, like is like some of those black like so it was like the same story, right? The same movie, the same characters and everything like that. But my question for you is like, is it that same script or are like black innovators or like people like that being just added to like the curriculum outside of the month of February? Like I don't know. I don't know
I
if
don't
you
know
you
either,
know.
man. I don't know. That's
Okay.
something I'm gonna have to get back with you, man, and ask, because I never like sit down with him and ask that question. The only man I don't think I remember, man. I know it's kind of funny and kind of whatever, man, at the same time. I remember my daughter was talking to me one day about they was having they was having a lesson on the Civil War,
Hmm.
and they had to do like dress up and stuff, man, like get into character. And I
Yeah.
remember they asked her asked her, you know, whether she came home and said, yeah, they asked me if I want to be on the North or the South,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I think you said
And
the
I
story
remember
on here.
telling
I
them,
think
man, like, you better be on the North. I remember
yeah,
just like laughing, man, saying that to her when she said that, man. But it was just funny as shit to me when they said that, man. Like, how you gonna ask her that shit, man? Of course,
yeah,
she didn't know how to even like answer it, man. You know what I mean? Like, I told her, yeah, you better be on the North, shit.
yeah. That's crazy, man. Honest,
That's
I
funny as
actually
shit.
think you told us that story before,
Yeah, I
but
think so.
I wanna, I would love to know. So if somebody got like some school kids, I would love to know, like, is it just like, do we like at this point now, like in multiple, parts of our history, we got some notable black people, whether that had been like Oprah, Maya Angelou, or even like in business now. And it's just a lot of people. And I just wonder if it's now embedded in the whole curriculum or if it's only like a February thing. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So that's my thought. my one last thing is I have been watching this show called Women of the Movement about Mammy Till Mobley, Emmett Till's mom. If you're looking for something to watch during Black History Month, it's good. It's good, man. It's sad. It's the Emmett Till story, of course. It's sad. It's sadder to me that like in recent time people been like going and shooting up like his memorial sign and stuff where they found his
Yeah.
body, stuff like that. But it's a sad. It's of course it's sad. It's the Emmett Till story, but that was like a big launch pad for like the NAACP and what they wanted to do in that time, and that really helped them, and that helped people get further. But it's definitely a good like story to watch, and it's a tearjerker, man. You know, but
Yeah.
like that's a big one for Black History Month. Real quick, man, Damon, because you're always good at like shows for me. Have you seen that show?
I watched some of it, not all of it though. Right.
Yeah, yeah,
I watched some of it. And I do get uh, like a little in my feelings a little bit about shows like that, man. Like
yeah, yeah,
I can get to a point of that show and I might just cut it off. You know what I mean? That's
yeah.
kind of what happened to me. I kind of cut it off um when I was watching it, and
When they
mostly
went in the
because of the
house.
fact of it was like made up, man. Like how they came in, you know what I mean? And they
That's
got him, but the
true.
lady
That's
was
that,
made
that
like
was
all that
true.
story was like
Oh,
made.
oh,
It was
oh, yeah, 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 yeah,
like, you know
yeah,
what I mean? They made the story up about him though. You know what I mean?
yeah,
That what got me, man. You know what I mean? And I think he was
yeah.
like what 10 years old, man. Like, come
14.
on,
He was
man.
14.
14.
Yeah.
It's like,
Angeline made me turn it off. The first day we was watching it, Angeline was like, "Yeah, I can't like
yeah,
just keep watching this."
yeah,
So
yeah,
she had me turn it off. But then we started watching it again, like, because it's supposed to be inspirational at some point too. So we
yeah, yeah,
started
yeah, yeah.
watching it again.
True.
They handle the Emmett Till, the actual incident, like, well, like they didn't show as of right now, they didn't show like the torture and stuff like that. They
Yeah,
did show his body at some points. That's like a valuable part of that story. Um, but so far so good. It's produced by James Lasseter, Will Smith, Jay-Z.
yeah,
So it's that same team again, doing that. So
yeah,
I'll keep watching it and I'll let y'all know what I thought about the whole show. But if you want to see something good like during Black History Month, check it out.
yeah,
Lastly though, Damon, like I was saying, man, like you've been my guy for some of these shows, man. If
yeah,
I don't know if you heard our episode 2021, the fan room that I did, me and Angeline was talking, and I'm like, yo, Damon, man, like he gave me like 3 shows that I love, C is one of them. And then another one was like Will of Time, man. Like that was a good one.
yeah,
So my
man. We've been
question to
pretty
you
good,
is,
man. Yeah,
yeah, Will of Time is I'm ready for season
yeah,
2, man. And
yeah,
C
man,
season
for
2
real.
was great,
So I do
So
got one for you, man. I know
what's
you
up?
see it on Netflix, man. It's called In From the Cold.
Oh, with the lady, the Russian
Yeah,
the Russian
the spy, whatever, man.
agent? Yeah.
Like it took me like a couple, like maybe 2 shows to get into what she was had going on, but you know, she could do some shit, man, like morphing and all type of shit into some other shit, man. So it sounds kind of crazy, but it's pretty good. But now I haven't watched it yet. I'm gonna let you know how it go, man. But I'm about to watch this new show with Christian Bale. Woman in the
Who?
house across the what's the name? Woman in the house across the
Oh,
street from the girl in the window. Kristen
Kristen
Bell,
Bell,
yep.
right? Okay, all right,
Kristen
all
Bell.
right.
Kristen
I
Bell.
thought you said Christian Bell. I was about to say he got a TV show. Like
No, no,
what?
no, no. Kristen. It's
But yeah,
Kristen.
yeah, yeah. Kristen Bell. Yeah, I saw that already.
But
Yeah, I saw that
is
already.
it
It's
worth to
dope. It's a
watch?
parody. It's a parody show, right? But it's dope though. I
Okay.
saw that one. I'm watching Peacemaker right now on HBO Max.
How is
It's
that, man?
funny.
I didn't get. Is
It's
it good?
funny. It's
Funny.
funny, man.
I know he's gonna make it funny though, because he kind of like
Yeah.
that type of guy anyway. So
Yeah, yeah, it's
yeah,
funny. So Peacemaker is funny. I've been watching Righteous Gemstones on HBO Max. It's hilarious, man. Righteous Gemstones is funny too, man. Archive 81, we've been watching. We ain't
oh yeah,
finished that one
dude,
yet.
I watched that. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
crazy.
you liked it.
That's really
Yeah, yeah.
crazy
We,
right
we
there.
ain't
Yeah,
finished it yet, but
yeah,
because that's
it's
another
good.
one. I found out Angeline was she was like, like these spooky movies. I'm like, we always watch. When did this start? You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So, but
yeah,
Archive 81, and we'll see. We'll see what's next, man. We'll see
yeah.
what's
That's
next.
most. That was one of my things, man. Like, I binge watched Yellowstone, of course, but In From the Cold, Archive 81 was another one I just watched. Yeah, man, it's some shows, and then there's some more coming out. I gotta we was thinking about watching Raising Cain. Is
Oh yeah,
Raising
yeah. Watch
Cain?
that. Yeah, yeah. Raising
Yeah, I
Canaan.
haven't
Yeah,
watched
yeah.
it. I,
Watch
I
that.
heard that's
Yeah, yeah,
pretty
yeah. That's
good.
good. That's good, man. You
And
saw BMF?
huh?
Did you watch BMF?
No.
Watch it. It's good, man.
Yeah.
Raising Canaan and I mean you because if you watch Raising Canaan, you got to get stars.
Yeah.
But yeah, so when you get stars, you got Raising Canaan on there, you got BMF on there. They both got. Honestly, I think you should probably watch BMF first. I think you would like BMF. They both good, but I think you would enjoy BMF.
Okay. Yeah,
You
man.
gonna like Raising Canaan too, but I think you would enjoy like just what this BMF is about. Something that I think you would like.
Yeah, most definitely. Man.
But yeah, hey man, this was great. This was fun. Really fun actually, man. Oh, by the way, we ain't do one in a while. I don't know how to title this. I don't know what's gonna happen.
Hey, one thing about we know, man, you good at that shit.
I don't know, man. All right, y'all. We'll see y'all next episode. It'll be Permission to Speak Freely next time we see y'all. Peace out.